Hi guys, welcome back to another video of What If Laurie Survived The Walking Dead. So let's get into it. So we start off by seeing Garciulio, who's just in the forest, and he finds an injured Rosita, and she tells him that her and Eugene went on a supply run, and they got separated because Eugene bought her some time to go, and now she doesn't know where he is. And Garciulio would call out for Aaron, Eric, and Jesus because they're in the area, and they take her to the hilltop, and over there she's asked about what happened to Eugene, and she says that her and Eugene were on a supply run, like hunting in the forest. I think it was like that. If I remember correct. Rosita tells us a lot, and we see Carl and Judith, and they find a group of people named Luke, Kelly, Connie, Magma, and Yumiko, and they have them join the group, and I'm not going to go full detail about how they do, and they meet Daryl and Merle, who are in the area with Judith and Carl. But after they drop the others back to Alexandria, Merle and Daryl have been ordered to go to the hilltop to help out with the situation of Eugene, like to rescue him. So Merle and Daryl go there, and we see Tyrese and Axel there to help out for the group to get Eugene back, and they all go out. And the people going to get Eugene are Jesus, Daryl, Merle, Axel, Tyrese, Garciulio, and Aaron. Now these people are gonna probably go everything goes up to the same but when they find Eugene and he says there's walkers that are whispering to each other, and Axel would start laughing to this, but later on they come across a church which they have to cross, which is filled with walkers, and Jesus tells them that he'll hold them off, and because he can buy the others some time, and he starts killing them, and Tyrese stays with Jesus, but more and more walkers start coming, and those walkers are acting a bit strange, but still, they still kill them, but it's getting weirder. Now, when Tyrese tries taking down one of the walkers, Tyrese gets stabbed by one of the walkers, and Tyrese gets killed right there, and the group quickly just get in and start killing all the people that are around here disguising to be zombies. And Garciulio gets scared from seeing this because he now has to deal with walkers that can move and stuff in their own, they're acting like humans. And Aaron and Merle pick up Tyrese's body, and the others cover them while they're going back to the hilltop to get Eugene back. They're there. And we see a Whisper Girl who's just running around because the group saw her, and she knows what happened at the church, but she's quickly slide tackled by Jesus, and he'd ask about her group, and she says there's no more of us left, and you killed us all, and she'd basically start acting dramatic, and she'd overreact a lot, even though we know that there's a lot more of them, but we don't talk about that right now. But they decide to take her back to Hilltop because she could be useful. And we'd see the kingdom, which is going pretty well considering Ezekiel has not had any wars happening with any community since the Saviors, but they're still in touch with the other communities. And Benjamin and Henry are starting to grow up. Well, mostly Benjamin. Henry's still season like season 5 Carl's age, I think. Yeah, he's around season 5 Carl's age. So Henry, he's okay, I guess, but Benjamin, he's growing up. Ezekiel hears about these whispers, so he decides to go to the other communities with Richard and Jerry, so they could stay there a while to help out with the war. And Lori would hear about Tyrese's death, and she gets worried, and she'd start running towards their house, and she goes up to Rick and tells her about Tyrese's death and like those talking walkers, even though we know those are called whispers, who are just disguised as walkers. And Rick would say that all the people that can fight, they're going to the hilltop, because that's where they mainly know that they're at. So they gotta defend that place, because they gotta defend that community, because they don't know about any of the other communities. And a group of people are at the hilltop, and they call themselves the Whispers, and they demand for them to give Lydia back. And Spencer is told to give Lydia, so Spencer comes out with his gun, and he just gives Lydia back to the Whispers. But there's gonna be one more thing, including that since Henry still likes Lydia in this story, he's gonna go after her like in the original. And when he sneaks out at night, I think, like, he'd probably sneak out at night because there's much more people, and he goes out the community to go to, like, Lydia, and he eventually finds the Whisper base. And the Whispers start cornering Henry, and a man named Beta, who's one of the Whispers, he's the second in command, he would pick up Henry and throw him against a tree. And Beta pulls out his knives, but he's stopped by Alpha. The next day, we see Carol, who notices Henry's gone, and she becomes worried, and she's about to go out on her own to find Henry. But then Gavin, Ezekiel, T-Dog, Daryl, and Merle are willing to go to look for Henry right now. And they get going, and they seem to get closer and closer, but they eventually come across a Whisper, and then he looks around, and then more Whispers start coming towards the group, and it just keeps on becoming more and more. And until the group are in the base of the Whisperers. And eventually, Merle has enough of it, and he just pulls out his gun and shoots Gamma, and also Gamma's sister, I just forgot her name. And T-Dog reloads his gun, and Beta just looks at the group, and he gets out his big knives, and while Beta isn't paying attention, Henry grabs one of the dead Whisper's knives, and he cuts his ropes out, and the group all, get separated from each other, not all, but only one of the members get separated, and that being Gavin. And the next day, while the group are looking for Gavin, because they aren't just going to leave him behind, Ezekiel sees Gavin, and Gavin gets happy, but eventually he just stands still, and then blood starts dripping from Gavin's throat, and eventually more and more blood starts dripping, and when Gavin falls to the ground dead, we see Beta behind him, and then Beta starts walking towards the group, he's going through, he's just basically rushing towards them, and he eventually would tackle Ezekiel down, but Ezekiel pushes Beta off, and eventually the entire group start running for it, but there's a lot of walkers, but they still escape, so yeah. But anyways, guys, that'll be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, so bye-bye!